everybody, good my homages, welcome back to another video, welcome back to another story about another painting, another day, another painting, another story, another time. In all seriousness, I'm really excited for today's piece to tell you about it. I think I might read word for word about what I wrote about it because sometimes I feel like what I'm trying to get out all tries to come out conjumbled as one piece and it doesn't do it. The words aren't wording. But this piece in particular is a painting that I created. See, it's right here. This is a painting that I created right after I quit my corporate 9-to-5 job. And man, was this some intense emotions I was feeling, and I wanted to create a piece that represented not only how I was feeling, but what it looked like inside of my soul. I know that this is deep, but I'm a deep person. Get used to it. Yeah, I had this vision of this piece, and this is what it turned out to look like. It's really cool. So I'll read a little tidbit about this, but I just kind of wanted to show you some detail. If you're wondering what these cutout pieces are here, these little tiny, I use Mod Podge, but I secured them on there after I finished this piece. I have words on here like proud to be a quitter, let go. What else I got on here? I think that's it. Proud to be, oh, I am free. I felt so free when I quit my job because it wasn't that it was a bad job. It wasn't that I don't know how else to say this other than I was nothing short but miserable. I feel like when you're a creative person and you feel like you're stuck in an environment, or you feel like you're trapped or you can't find a way out, and it's kind of one of them things like starting a side hustle or being an entrepreneur, and there's this really weird in-between stage where you're balancing a business on top of a regular corporate 9-to-5 job or just a regular job in general. Maybe it's not corporate, but it starts to wear on you after a while. I became very isolated and very beside myself, and I just was nothing short but miserable, and God laid it on my heart, and I hung on for a year and a half before I actually made the leap and I jumped. There was this quote that I wrote down, I still have it hanging up here. It's, you have to take the jump when you can afford to drown. I wrote that on July 27th of 2023, and it took me 7 months to quit after I wrote that, and I stared at it every day because I worked from home. And it's not that the company's bad, I'm not degrading them or in any way, shape, or form, but I feel like when you're doing something that you're not passionate about, like, what's the point? I mean, think about this. You spend 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours at a job, and then you take care of yourself, make your lunch, blah, 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 have hobbies. By the time it's all said and done, you probably only have a good 2 to 5 hours to yourself per day. And I feel like if you're gonna do something, you might as well do something that makes you happy, which is why I made the risky leap. I know a lot of people think that I was crazy, but I saved my money. I did a lot of things I don't recommend doing. I cashed out my retirement. I was done. I couldn't take it anymore, and so I made the leap. But this is buying time. I felt like I was constantly buying time. I felt like every time that I saved money, I was trying to buy time, and I still kind of feel like I'm buying time because I'm in this weird position where I signed up for like 30 art markets, and I did the art vendor shows, and it's not that I expected to become a millionaire or a sensation overnight on YouTube or anything like that. Fame is not my goal. It would be kind of cool, but also I really value my solitude in my home and where I can recharge, and it's kind of nice not being well known. Because there's, fame, everything is like a double-edged sword. Like, there's a sacrifice that comes with every stage of life, and I know when I get to a place where I am well known, there's gonna be different giants to face, and there's gonna be different battles that I encounter. I'm kind of at a place right now where I can create whatever content I want, and I can kind of say whatever I want and say how I feel. I don't know how that's gonna shift when I do gain an amount of success, but, oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, where was I going with that squirrel? But it's not that I want to become famous, it's just my goal in my life is to make a difference with art. It's to make enough money where I can put so much money aside, send people to treatment for their mental health. I want to be impactful. I want to make a difference. And I feel like all of those things, not only do I love doing the art, but I want it to be meaningful. I want it to come from a place where I feel like I am making a difference because I want to be the person that I wished I had when my mom passed away. Like I was saying, it's not that I want success. The point that I'm getting to is I want to make enough money where I can sustain a comfortable living. I want to make just enough money to do what I love to do. It's, you know, when I was in my 20s, I chased money and success and status and materialism, and I kind of had to go through some shit in my life to realize that that's not what I really want out of life. But yeah, this is the piece. It's pretty beautiful. There's flames here. All of these little doodles here are things that I cut out of my work notebook. When I was in meetings, I would doodle on the side of my notebook, and before I threw away all of my work notes after my last day of my job, I was like, you know what? I should cut all of these out and put it in this painting, so that's what I did. But I'm gonna read you while I show some clips of this. I'm gonna read this to you. This is what I wrote on March 22nd of this year, 2024. I wanted to create a piece that represented how I felt in a corporate 9-to-5 as a creative individual. I felt suffocated, unfulfilled, and miserable. As positive as I tried to be, I couldn't fake being happy anymore. I isolated myself and things got really dark towards the end. My relationship suffered and my mental health was as bad as it could get. I was also recovering from surgery in the midst of all of this. The sideways hourglass symbolizes the imbalance in my life while working a full-time job and dedicating countless hours to my art business. The skeleton hand represents the death of my dreams if I kept accepting what life threw at me. The pocket watch represents working around the clock and feeling like I was running out of time. I wasn't sleeping very well, and I was always in a constant state of panic and worry. The flames represent the burning passion I have for art and the struggle that I have overcome to get back to who I was. The ship represents the downward spiral of my mental health. All of my good qualities were suffocated beneath everything bad that I was feeling. The cracked glass represents the pressure of expectation. You can only put something under pressure for so long before it breaks. The doodles are things that I cut out before I threw away my work notebook, what I was saying before. Not all things that come to an end are a bad thing. I used to fear quitting. Society makes us view it as a failure. The thing that I was scared of the most was worrying about what everyone else thought. I fell short of the expectation of others. The truth is that I always will because it's not their life. I took a step out in blind faith, and I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to spread mental health awareness with my art. If there's a time to be crazy and reckless in my life, it's now. Your life is a canvas and you are the artist. Following your dreams takes sacrifice, but I would much rather live with that than the pain of regret. This piece is very emotional. There was a lot that I poured into this, and this clock represents constantly feeling like I was running out of time, and it's crazy now that I'm kind of feel like I'm back to square one, but in a different position where I feel like I am running out of time. I feel like I kind of need to make something happen in order not to go back to the feeling of imprisonment. And it sounds really dramatic, and it's not that I'm entitled or spoiled. I've worked for everything I've had in my life, but I just don't want to go back to where I was because I didn't like who I was when I had a job. And maybe you've seen my burnout video, and there's a story behind that painting as well. But you know, I had some anger and some frustration, and I've been sharing this journey and what I'm going through because life is not always sunshine and rainbows. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. This is just life, and this is just stuff that I'm going through, and I feel like it's very much necessary. It's a very necessary part of the journey, even though it's not comfortable a lot of times. There's gonna be so many times in your life where you're gonna be uncomfortable, but I feel like the uncomfortableness is what makes you move. It's what ignites you to do something different. The anger and the frustration is what makes you do things differently. It makes you figure things out in a different way. And I've said this before, but I feel like anger and frustration is viewed as a negative in society, kind of like sadness, and they are negative emotions, but without those things, we wouldn't change, we wouldn't evolve, we wouldn't become different people, is what I'm trying to say. So this piece is very meaningful to me. It's impactful. I did not realize that I did not have this listed on my website. By the time you watch this video, it will be posted for sale. If you are interested in the original, my website is www.rockinbakken.com. I'm in the midst of creating prints for this piece, and hopefully by the time you watch this video, I will have some available. It does cost money, and I'm kind of in a predicament where, well, I only have so much that I can give as far as financials, but there's gonna come a day where I will have prints of this piece, and I feel like it's going to speak very loudly to my creative and neurodivergent community. So yeah, that is the story behind this piece, and there's a lot that goes into this, and I don't know, I feel like someone needs to hear this right now, and I just heard this. Don't get consumed by the fire. Don't let it consume you. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I feel like somebody really did right now. I hope this message was impactful. I hope that this piece, you had some kind of internalization or realization, or you're taking the leap to follow your dreams. I'm 30 years old. I still don't have things figured out. I don't know if we're ever gonna have something figured out, but I'm trying to find my way in this life, and I'm trying to find where I belong, and I know it's in the creative community, and I know it's to be, I don't know, one of my goals is just to kind of be that big sister in the creative community, someone that roots you on and cheers you on, because there are people in my life that support me, but were some really dark moments, and it's a very lonely journey, you know? When you're following your dreams, it's rare because the majority of the people in your life aren't. 99.5%, if not more, are not following their dreams. They just suck up life, they settle, and then they're angry, and then they hate you for it, and they wonder why they're so angry, and it's because they never had the balls to go after what they wanted in life. And this struggle has been very up and down. If you are not new to my journey and you have been watching my videos, you've seen me go through some really tough shit. And I'm happy, like I told my friend Brandy this, she's a YouTuber as well. She's my only YouTuber friend so far. But I was talking to her about this, and she's like, oh, I wish I would have started 10 years ago documenting my progress. And I'm like, girl, I was a mess 10 years ago. Like, I think I'm bad now. I had so much growing to do, and I'm so glad that that is not on film, because, oh man, 20-year-old Tyler was lost. 20-year-old Tyler needed a friend. 20-year-old Tyler was broken. And sometimes you have to get broken in order to start gluing those pieces together. It's kind of, I don't know what the phrase is, but the Chinese, if there's a piece of china that's broken, they glue it together with gold glue, and it makes it more beautiful and more durable. And regardless if you feel like you're broken or not, there's light that gets into them cracks. And if you let enough light in and you let it shine into your cracks, it's gonna heal you. So this is my painting. This is my piece called Buying Time. I forever feel like I'm buying time. I feel like one of my biggest challenges and one of the biggest things that I'm overcoming in my life is feeling like I'm running out of time, because as humans, we only have so much time on Earth. We all have an expiration date, and there's gonna come a day where we all die. And I constantly feel like I'm running out of time, and I struggle to live in the present, but I'm doing a hell of a lot better than I did 10 years ago. So if you're watching this video, give yourself some grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. And I didn't mean for this to turn into a TED Talk, but I really feel like someone needed to hear this. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I will have prints available for this. The original is for sale on my website, www.rockinbakken.com. Feel free to check it out. I have tons of items on my website. Not only do I have original artwork, I have prints, greeting cards, stickers, 100% hand-poured soy candles. I have, what else do I have? I have handmade jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, the whole 9 yards. I do everything. So if you could and you feel it laid on your heart, please support my art. I will ship it to you. Every package comes with a handwritten love letter from me to you. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, month, year, day, second, hours, whatever. Until next time, my homages, peace the F out.